Have you ever given somebody an emotional serve and then regretted it afterwards? If you're like me, you've got people around you that you care about, you love dearly, you would do nothing to harm them. And yet there are times when the feelings and emotions just get too strong, they feel too great, they can be overwhelming, and then blast! You've spoken out loud, you've said something silly, you've emoted in such a way that the person that you care about and love is being pushed away in fear even, or they're intimidated by you. And if you're like me, you're left standing there going, all the judgments about myself, what have I done again? What have I done now? Can't I learn how to speak in a way that people can hear me? That's what we're going to look at today. My name is Steve Sweeney. I'm the founder of Extraordinary Relationships. Today, we're going to look at a 3-step process where we can identify how we're feeling and we can get more skilled in communicating what's happening in our emotional inner world so that we can communicate in such a way that it actually brings those we love closer. If that sounds good to you, please keep listening and watching. Now, in this 3-step process, I'm going to now try and get my PowerPoint to work. We will see if that happens. And there we are. The PowerPoint's working so far, and I'll put myself in there, and then we will crunch down into here and Extraordinary Relationships, and we will move into the 3-step process. But before we go there, why do we need to do this? Why do we need to learn how to express ourselves better? Essentially, feelings and emotions expressed in a negative way, inappropriate way, will stress our relationships. And if we do it often enough, it can break our relationships. So before we start, what's the difference between a feeling and an emotion? When I'm talking about feelings, what I'm talking about is the feeling that's in the immediate experience right now. So as it's flowing through me right now, I am experiencing a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of fear. My first video on YouTube, and so I express that and it comes in and it goes. Now, emotions are feelings that start to come up, and then because we've been taught that they're a no, we push them back down again. And we keep pushing and we keep pushing and we keep pushing. And we do this for years. We do this for decades. Depending on how old you are, you might have been doing this for 5 or 6 decades. It might only be 2 or 3 decades for you. But these emotions sit there. They don't go away. And what happens, we have a new feeling come in. We suppress that. That adds to the already big load of emotions which have been blocked. We can't deal with that anymore. And boom! Up it all comes, and it comes out. And the next thing you know, you've been blasting at someone that you love. It might be a child. It might be a partner. It could be a work colleague. It could be anybody. And you've gone bang and blasted them with this emotional content. And even you are left there going, WTF, what have I done here? What was that about? And we just don't know what that's about because we've been suppressing it for so long. So stop suppressing our feelings so we can communicate more, so we can get more closeness and more connection in our relationships. That's why we want to improve the way that we deal with strong emotions. Because our strong feelings and emotions expressed inappropriately can be scary, they can be terrifying, they can be intimidating. And expressed over time, they can destroy our relationships. And they push those we love away, leaving us feeling alone, disconnected, horrified at what we've done maybe, ashamed at what we've done, and in pain because we're still haven't got the connection that we're seeking because of what we've just done and said. So strong emotions and feelings expressed with skill, with care, with love, with compassion has the potential to get more connection in our lives. It increases the safety, increases the trust in our relationship. If we've got increased safety and trust in our relationship, we have increased communication. When we have increased communication, increased safety, increased trust, we have increased erotic engagement with each other and a willingness to go on erotic adventures and to work together to common goals. And above all, we have connection. Most of us are seeking connection. This three-step process, it's quite a simple process, but it takes practice. So I implore you to practice, practice, practice. First of all, when you have a feeling, there's a sensation in our bodies. Okay? Now, our bodies are from here down in this context. So we have our feelings from here down. We don't feel up here. Let me repeat that. We do not feel in our heads. Okay? We feel from here down in our bodies. So we have a sensation in our bodies. So learn how to identify when there is a sensation and not suppress it or try to numb it with various ways that we all numb our feelings. So let's just breathe into the sensation that we're having here. Then we bring our mind in, using our mind to use a word that matches the sensation that we've got here. So if you've got this vibrating energy, it might be fear or anxiety, so you use the word fear or anxiety. If you're feeling, wounded or hurt, so you use the words wounded and hurt to connect with the feeling here. Okay? So then you've had the sensation. Step 1, identify the sensation. Step 2, use a word from our mind that links, that resonates with the sensation. And then we take, step 3, the risk in speaking it out loud. Now, we're not always going to get this right. Particularly in the beginning, there's a good chance we'll get it wrong. But even in the getting it wrong, it helps to clarify what's right. So, by identifying the sensation, using a word, hey, look, when you do that, I'm feeling a bit hurt when you use that tone. When you walk away from me like that, I feel abandoned and I feel lonely. And it gets me in touch with how, isolated I was as a child. That's a bit more sophisticated. What's another example? That when you don't want to make love to me, I feel not good enough. I feel rejected. I feel unloved. And I feel like I don't stack up. And I feel alone. When we had that argument last night, it left me feeling really separated and disconnected from you. So there's a few examples. But just try it and do it over and over and over again. This takes practice. This is a skill that can be honed. Most of us have feelings coming up every day, and it is quite astounding that when we start using this little three-step process to just identify as a sensation, put a word to it and express it, we get better at it. It gets easier. And if we have children, it is a bonus to teach our children this skill. So when we're feeling passionate, when we're feeling frustrated, angry, etc., those sorts of feelings, when we express them in ways that are discourteous and inappropriate, they push people away. They push the people that we love away. Shared vulnerability is the pathway to connection. So take the chance and take the risk and express yourself in the way that you want to, appropriately, with skill, with compassion, with love. So that's me. That's my first video on YouTube. I'm Steve Sweeney and I'm from Extraordinary Relationships, and I'm offering you a free course on Facebook, Secrets of Extraordinary Relationships. Please click on the link there or get onto Facebook and just find Secrets of Extraordinary Relationships. Join up and you'll find the 7 foundations to creating extraordinary relationships. Please subscribe and you'll have more of this coming up. Thank you.